All right.
I'm going to take Mike off. Okay, so we now have Ron coming on with us. We're going to talk about a lot of good things here with Ron. Ron, I'm going to bring you in. And this is so fast. This is exactly how we wanted the summit to be, is fast. We're moving from session to session. No fluff. We get right into things. Ron, I'm going to bring you in, man. What's up? How you doing?
Zach. Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yep,
Good.
we're just fine. How excited are you to be on the CSU Summit? Because I'm excited to have you here.
No, it's amazing. I was just reflecting back on, it really is the community that you guys have created around you, right? There are so many different people from different brokerages, different brands, independent, or the core group of major brands that are out there. And it's just pretty amazing to see how everybody shares. And as Mike said, as he was leaving, and I'll preface this, Mike had the slides and the presentation down solid. Mine's a bit more of a conversation.
Oh, good.
So I don't have the slides to follow that. So Mike, you set the bench pretty high there, and I'm impressed. The R&D side of it, the rip off and duplicate, is really a lot of what a lot of us have done, right? Is not having to reinvent the wheel, but building upon one another, and learning from one another, and taking the tools and the systems and the support, and just stacking it and simplifying it, and then communicating it to our team. So anyways, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me, Zach.
It's an amazing industry. It's an amazing community where those who want to go outside of their market and attend events like this and listen to people and take things, these concepts, and like you said, just R&D, rip and duplicate, put it in play, things that have worked and already proven and can really revolutionize your business. So, I'm grateful we have all these people hopping on, and people like you and Mike and all the other speakers who are willing to, share a little bit of what it is that's helping make them successful. Right.
Absolutely.
So Ron, you and I had a conversation, and maybe before we break into anything, you could just give us a little background. Your brokerage, right? Maybe tell us a little bit about your model, your production, and what you're looking to do in 2021.
Okay, so little history. So I've been in the business for 17 years. My mom opened up a real estate company when I was 4. So I've been around it my whole life, but I didn't get in until 17 years ago. Started working at a traditional brokerage, found myself at the Remax brand. That's the brand that I'm at. As I started to try to grow a team, I had some limitations that were placed on me, and I did not have the ideal environment to grow and have a team that an office that really kind of supported what I was trying to do. So I did a quick, recapture of looking at everything that was available in the marketplace, and decided to set out and create, our own brokerage. And we did remain with the Remax brand. So I'm the sole broker owner of Remax Nexus. And at the same time, I operate a team within that brand called Nexus Group. And so it started out 5 years ago is when we started that brokerage. Actually, we're in our 6th year, but 5 years in our location. We started out with me and 2 agents. We're now a total of 40 agents. In the brokerage, the brokerage is trending to do $150 million this year in production for roughly 550 units. And the team itself represents about 50% of the unit volume, and our goal will probably be about high 30s to 40% of the total sales volume of that. So that's my kind of like little summary of who I am and what we are. So
it's interesting. Actually a lot of people on this call know Spring, and Spring is our CEO's wife, has a brokerage, was a team. And it's been interesting to watch that jump from team to brokerage, kind of like what you said. Maybe you could talk us through, when that all, what was it? Was it that you had limitations on your growth and that's why you looked into, becoming a broker, or how did that whole thing shake out for you?
I had nothing but great things to say about the other offices that I was at. It was just when you take a look at the blank canvas, right? You want to be able to create this ideal environment, and the only way to do that really was to build it from the ground up. So while I have great relationships with all the brokerages that I worked for in the past, we just decided to create our own environment that was a little bit more conducive. We didn't want to have as many concerns about color copy fees and black and white this, and as far as the color copies and black and white copies and internet shared expenses and stuff like that. We just wanted to create an environment that was more conducive for agents to operate their business in, whether it's individually or on a team. And then I also, just looking at the historical trend of real estate, real estate brokerages started out as being fairly full service. The agents and the brokerage splits equally indefinitely. They then migrated a little bit to where the agent kept the lion's share of the commission, and that was really kind of a transitional shift that happened in the 70s, with Remax. But then other companies followed suit with that, with different cap models, et cetera. And as the commission and revenue shifted more towards the agent and the team lead, the brokerages were just a little bit more of an infrastructure, kind of rent a space, co-working type space. And so there's a lot of great teams that are operating great businesses, but they're also hiring their own executive assistants, showing assistants, marketing assistants. And since we already had those things in place for our team, we thought, why not just offer all of those same items to our brokerage? So that was one of the things that was kind of unique. We are a brokerage, and we do operate a team, and we have other teams that operate here, but they all partake in the suite of services that we offer to our agents. So that was part of when you and I were talking about the agents having an ownership mentality, is that they feel like they're a part of this. When they plug into us, right? So Nexus is the connection point, as we like to refer to it. That's how we came up with Remax Nexus. The agents are able to plug right into our connection point and operate their self-sustaining business under our brokerage. And a lot of them are choosing to affiliate with our team because we have set so many systems in place, not just the services and the support and the tools. They can plug right in. They can use our CRM. They can use Boomtown. They can have access to a very robust lead generation platform. They can have protocols. They can utilize ISA. They can utilize our field services team, which is kind of like a showing support model. Our marketing team that helps all of our agents, whether it's at our brokerage or on our team. It's our marketing suite of services that we offer to our agents. So we try to take the agents and have them focus on the highest dollar productive activities, which is, all the lead measures we talk about, making outbound attempts and scheduling appointments and being in front of them, not filling out the listing agreement or inputting the listing or ordering the pictures. We take care of them on the back end for all those things.
Okay. So as an agent, I'm gonna come plug into Nexus. I mean, I'm assuming there are different levels and different maybe roles that I could come in at, or is it brokerage agent versus team agent? Like what does that look like?
Great question. So we have other teams that operate at our office, but for the most part, we keep it stupid simple, right? The KISS model, as we like to call it. We have three plans. We have room for new agents. As a matter of fact, the founding principle really of the team that I created is it grew into what is now the #1 team in Southeast Michigan for all of the Remax offices in Southeast Michigan in just 5 years. But I built that team with brand new agents. We didn't do it with agents that had a track record of success. We brought them in and we trained them from the ground up. So agents joining our company have the option of joining under kind of the green model, which is a newer model with a mentorship, and they typically affiliate with a team, so they have a mentor, support, lead gen systems. The other option is just our growth model, right? So that's more of a traditional real estate brokerage where they have a split. They don't have monthly expenses. They have a split, and they pay us over time, and they reinvest their revenue back into growing their business. And then we have our more experienced guru plan, as we call it, right? The ones that have know that they have a predictable stream of business every single year. So that's our most competitively priced. But the agents take a pro rata share, of the expense. They pay us a flat dollar amount month after month, whether they sell anything or not, and then they keep the lion's share of their commission. So that was really the founding principle of what Remax was based on. Remax stands for Real Estate Maximums, and that was that model, and we still have that. We still have that option that's available. And so with that model, it's nice because we always tell our agents, instead of joining an office and hitting your cap after 2 months and then feeling like you're beholden to your brokerage, for an entire year, and when's the best time to make a switch, we always present that as we have to earn your business month after month. Right? So you're going to pay us monthly. If we ever let you down, that's why we have to hold that same commitment. There's no contract with that, right? So it's just a different way of looking at it, but we try to look at it from one of those three lenses. and then give people options, because nobody's business is exactly the same.
And I'm assuming there's a progression there too, right? An agent might come in on one of the tiers or one of the models and move into another as they grow, right? It's going to allow them more of that flexibility.
Absolutely. And because we have that option available, the agents will typically choose to remain here. A lot of times, if they join a team at another office and then they, maybe they outgrow the team because too much of a split's going to the team lead, and maybe they want to experience what the other agents have to offer. A lot of the times they will fly the coop per se and maybe leave the brand, where here they're welcome to stay, right? They're all part of it. We're just one group. We are a team. We huddle as a team. We're very collaborative. And it just works out well. So we try to ask every single person that comes to us, what is it that you're looking for, and how can we help you get to where you want to be, right? If we feel like there's something that we could help everybody, so we want to learn as much about the agents and then maybe lay out that 3 to 5 year roadmap, utilizing a system such as yours, right? Helping them with goals and helping them with plans and looking at what their numbers were. I mean, very few agents actually know what they did or what their ratios are. And the second we were able to demonstrate that, then our agents within our company, whether they're on our team or at our brokerage, have just spoke very highly of us, right? That we are doing more, we're giving more than we're taking, right? We're not nickel and diming them. We're just bringing them value, systems, support, allowing them to highly leverage themselves to go out and do the dollar productive activities that are most important to them, and then let us take the things off of their plate. So we have a very high assistant to team member ratio, right? Where we have a great support infrastructure, where some offices have no support, but just a very inexpensive place to park your license. And that, me as somebody who was working at another brokerage, I didn't feel like there was a whole lot to gain from that.
Yeah. And we were actually talking about this the other day, but you have a pretty good per agent, with that higher maybe admin and overhead expense, you're getting a lot more, you're able to help your agents to get to a higher, per agent productivity, right? Maybe you could dive a little into that.
Right. Well, yeah. For example, one of our agents that started brand new with us, this is his 5th year. We started from scratch. This year, he'll probably do 56 transactions, 250,000 plus in GCI. So he's, that's a perfect example, living a completely different life. Many of our agents join us that are maybe doing 50,000 at another brokerage and double their income to 100,000, but they also doubled their quality of life because they're, instead of doing all the other tasks that they were once doing, in the evening or on the weekends, they are now utilizing some of the other services that we offer. So by taking on new agents and then also training the agents, our agents get to work in a field service capacity, as we call it. So we have all of our agents at any level that can actually hire another agent to do a task for them. So the newer agents are going out and showing more houses. They're previewing more houses. They're opening up more lockboxes. They're getting a feel for what's out there. They're giving feedback. They're strategizing with the agent that they were working for. So it's accelerating their experience. So it snowballs. And that's where we continue to snowball. So, you go from 10 million to 20 million to 40 to 80. We're tracking to do in excess of 150 million. I know that some people always tell me, you can't just keep saying that you're going to double the numbers. I say, why not? Everybody else, maybe we can be more realistic and say maybe it's a 35% growth next year. But we're hopeful that in next year that we're reaching for the $250 million mark, and not with necessarily 150 agents, with like 50 or 60 agents that are living an amazing life.
Yeah. It's funny because we were just talking some of the same things that we were just talking with Mike about, and that have come up a couple times in this session, is offering a career progression. That's huge for retention. Offering a system to track your numbers, to, take this number of, I'm an agent and I want to do 30 deals this year. And what exactly do I need to do? And even you just mentioned, the ability to work with another agent in my office as a showing partner, right? You even have that to an extent built in as well. So these same things are kind of coming up. And I think that's what creates, as an agent in your brokerage, feeling like I'm a part of something, feeling like I have that ownership, right?
Right. Absolutely. And then recognizing the agents, right? That's another key variable here. We would be nothing without the agents. And even so, the team that I started while at another brokerage, it evolved into what we call Nexus Group. It doesn't have my name on it. It doesn't say Ron Rose's team. It,
Right.
it's just Nexus Group, every single agent that affiliates with that team. And that's really a core group of, 10 agents that we're looking at getting to 20. But last month, they represented 36 transactions of our 72 units that we closed. So even though they're a smaller percentage of the total, they're a number of agents. They're representing a very high number because they're plugging in to all the systems that we offer. Lead gen, the CRM suite, and allowing us to really analyze their business with you, and taking all of that requirement of accountability off of them by just having it done in the background. So if we're using the Boomtown platform and they log a call, it's going to log a dial. If we have them have a conversation, they log the call and they disposition the call, it's going to not just have a dial, but it's also going to have a conversation. When we set an appointment, it's going to show that it set up an appointment. And then when they move it down the pipeline, as it comes in the funnel, it will then drop to their pipeline report, and then it just works through the system. And then we can just sit down and have a one-on-one with them individually on a pretty regular cadence. And that's available to any agent at the brokerage, but more specifically, the agents on the team, which accountability has been, the cornerstone of that growth. And accountability is two-way. Right? Accountability is love, right? It's we need to be able to count on the agents, but more importantly, the agents feel like they need to be able to count on us. We're providing them with a system, support, tools, and leads, and they need to know that it works. And so we review with them, and we huddle every Monday, and we go through, did you work last week? Are you working this week? Who's on call? What's the rotation? How do we make the most of this week? We only have 52 of them this year, right?
Yeah.
Or actually fewer, right? Because of the pandemic. Anyway.
Yeah, I think as somebody that I'm going to come in, I'm going to give this agent 30 minutes of my time to coach them. If I don't have those numbers in front of me, I can't have an intelligent conversation about this is exactly what you can be doing if I don't have those numbers and those insights. And I think obviously, coming from a CSU background, I love hearing that, but I'm just such a firm believer in that, even in our own internal teams too. So,
yeah. Well, we tried other systems in the past to obviously get that same information. Like I'd mentioned, it's such a great community, not just here, but being a part of Boomtown, for example, I had an opportunity to meet a lot of your other speakers, and I've learned a great deal from them. Like Jeff Cohen, I flew out to his office, and he was early on using a Google Doc, filling out forms, and it was filling a Google Sheet, and that Google Sheet was going to a Gecko board, and we were displaying that early on, as a source of tracking. We knew early on that what you measure, you manage. What you track, you improve. If you want to lose weight, you gonna have to know how many calories you eat and how many steps you take, et cetera. We always knew that. But then when we found the solution that really took all the extra effort off of our agents to be able to forecast their business, again, it was one step in the right direction. They didn't have to call somebody and then put a check mark on a piece of paper like we used to have to do. It's always getting better. And our agents know that when joining us, that we're always working to improve. The one thing that is going to remain constant here is that we're constantly going to be tinkering and improving and just challenging the status quo. It's one way that we can always make sure that we're growing. And the real estate market is going to continue to rapidly change and evolve. And we want to be ahead of it. So either you're growing, you can't remain stagnant long. The other way is you're going to be declining, dying, redacting, shrinking, and we want to be in growth mode, right? We want to be generating opportunities, not just for our agents, but for our clients. When a buyer hires us, they want us to find them a property, right? They want us to win in that highest and best offer that a lot of us are experiencing. When a seller hires us, they want to make sure that we're getting the most for their dollars, right? So when we have the agents work a predictable system that we call grow, right, which is generate business, then recruit the clients to work with us, whether buyers or sellers. Then we onboard them. This is our process. This is how we take you through it. Then we work the process. And that working the process by taking all these other different systems that we used to use, Asana and different checklists and Google Docs, and bringing that into one system, the agents will take a conversation to an appointment, from an appointment to a contract, from a contract to our transaction team that then launches those transactional details. So you guys have allowed us to be considerably more efficient with our process, because we can now see all the steps that have to be taken for our new listings. Do we have to get a price reduction if it didn't, sell? For our buyers that are under contract, what are the series of steps that we have to go through? Who's doing what? As we huddle with the agents feel like they're getting to delegate and elevate to a whole new level, right?
Mhm.
They will even say to their client, my assistant's going to reach out and make arrangements for the final water bill. We're going to take care of ordering that final payoff for you. So our agents get to walk into their appointment when they're working with their client, and just come in at a different level that sets them apart from the competition.
Yep, I love it. And I just keep thinking as I'm hearing this, how important it is to have that progression, and that, there's somewhere to go within the brokerage, because that's ultimately why you're going to keep your agents, right? Is if they're growing and improving.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
well, cool. Ron, I did want to ask, because I believe you've brought on quite a few. I mean, you're working on productivity. You also brought on a few agents as a brokerage recruiting. I mean, how has having this different model helped you in recruiting as well?
Well, honestly, most of our growth has been very organic, right? So we haven't taken a very proactive, hard stance, recruiting,
Interesting.
dialing, pounding the phones. We've been taking on our real estate agents that join us. We look at them as our partners, right? We look at how, because you have a certain respect level different for somebody that you're partnered with, right? It's a mutual. They need us as a brokerage. We need them as agents, so how do we partner with them? By taking that proactive stance and just really caring about their business and giving them the Cliff Note version to success, right? We can literally shorten people's success. We can double their numbers if they follow our system.
Yeah.
It's not out of the question for somebody to grow their income $50,000 per year, every year, once they join us. And we can do that because we have a predictable system for it. We handle sphere of influence this way, and we handle your listings this way. And so when they join us, they don't have to hire an assistant and learn about it. They just plug into it. So by doing that, whether agents are joining our team or our brokerage, which we consider just like one big, happy team that collaborates together, the agents all feel like they're a part of that, and that we really care. So our biggest source, just like our agents' biggest source of business, has been referrals, repeat and referrals from satisfied clients. Right. So our satisfied clients, our agents, are the ones that rave about us. We celebrate our agents. Our agents feel great. They tell other agents. So most of the people that have come to us have actually approached us about how we can help them with their business. They already know what we're doing. They see our success. They see our agent's success. And that's been a good formula. But at the same time, we are starting to take our strides to make a more proactive approach in a systematic manner, using your tasks and your recruiting module that's built into Sisu to do it the same thing. So if I expect agents to, commit to accountability of, they're going to make outbound contacts, they're going to maybe shoot some bomb videos, they're going to schedule some appointments, we should do the same thing and be able to demonstrate that we're holding ourselves accountable to the same metrics that we would expect the agents to, right? People want to see that we're caring. And we also say to the agents, do you want to grow your business? And they say, absolutely. And we say, well, so do we. So, if you know somebody that could benefit from being with us, why don't you make a warm introduction? And that's really been a very easy way for us to realize success with growth.
I love it. Well, I think, Ron, I mean, just it's very apparent how genuine you are, and how much you care for your agents. You've said that multiple times, and you get your agents raving on here too. Best broker in Michigan from Norm. So you get some shout outs, but I think that speaks for itself, and that's where you get that organic agent growth as well, right? Wrapping this thing up here, anything else that you want to throw out there about, your journey the last 5 years from starting the brokerage, or just anything around the topic in general you want to leave us with?
Oh boy, I open-ended question like that, you get yourself in trouble for 5 minutes. But I just want to thank you and Brian and Frank and everybody over there. You guys are great. You guys really have created a community much like Boomtown. I've learned so much from those core communities that we've decided to go deep with. We tell people to go deep in what they're doing, right? They don't need to go an inch deep and a mile wide. We've really built the success of our business by focusing on our agents and helping them. We have a strong relationship with Boomtown and the other boomers within that community that have shared. I mean, people that I think Kyle's on after me. I've learned a great deal from him. Doug Geek was on earlier. The list goes on and on. Jeff Cohen, I flew out to his office. He was, I think we were doing 30 million and now we're 150 million within a handful of years after meeting him. It's just a great community. And you guys have replicated that same community of bringing people together. Not, it's just brand agnostic. It doesn't matter. We're all here with the same mindset, the same intentional growth, and we're all looking to grow. So I appreciate all that you guys do. I appreciate you putting this together. If I can ever be of assistance to anybody, if they have a question about, a model that's similar to ours, I'm happy to answer that. If somebody's trying to button all this together and they can't figure out how to do it, I mean, it takes a substantial investment up front, and you just want to plug into ours, you're welcome to talk to us as well. I mean, we already have the platforms for you. I mean, we have Boomtown, we have Sisu, we have marketing, field services, showing support. So glad to help any way I can. And thanks for thinking of us.
Thanks, Ron. And I didn't know you 30 to 150. That's pretty freaking awesome. So congrats.
I mean, yeah, we started with, I think, less than 10 in the first year, right? So I think it was 10 and then it, went to 20, 40, and up from there.
Very cool. So. All right. Well, Ron, I'm going to let you go. And
awesome.
We'll see you later. Thanks for hopping on. Anyone has any questions, head over. This is the last session on our morning track B. So we'll kick off the afternoon track B here in about 30 minutes. I need to grab something to eat and take a breath because that was a lot of content. We will kick off here in about 30 minutes with Zach Hammer, who you've seen in some of the comments. A lot of you know Zach. He is a marketing genius, and we'll have a lot to talk about there. So we'll see you all there. Thank you.